Just a little trigger warning before this week's Wednesday Wandering. I am going to be touching on themes of loss and disappointment. And so if this is something that you are not ready to listen to at the moment, then you go ahead and just do your own thing. And you take care. Hello and welcome to another episode of Wednesday Wandering with me, Kate Field. I hope you are well. This week's Wednesday Wandering is going to be quite challenging for me, but I thought I would still go ahead. We've experienced in our family a sad loss, and I'm still processing it. It happened yesterday. But it led me to think about one of the subjects that I talk about a lot, and that is the healing power of creative expression and how we can use the arts and creativity to help when we are struggling with the challenges that happen in ordinary life. So I won't be coming across as bubbly and happy as I usually am today. So I know that you are lovely, lovely people, and you will understand and you will be supportive. Welcome if you are new. And apologies if this is the first time you found me. I'm not usually this introspective, but it's difficult. It's difficult. One of the things that I feel so passionate about is how the arts are so much more than the practical application. It's so much more than painting and drawing or sewing or sculpture. It's so much more than singing or playing a musical instrument. It's so much more than that. And when we participate in the arts in whatever capacity, at whatever level, something happens inside. Something happens to our soul and to our spirit, and it's when we can put those things into practice, then we can find some measure of comfort, I think, when we're going through hard times. And I think that for me, because I'm interested in so many arts, there are going to be some things that right at this moment in my life at the moment, I'm going to struggle to do. But there are other things that I know that I'm just going to love, and to just let the process of making art, just let that process help me. And when we're trying to communicate, when we're trying to communicate our feelings, that can be very hard. We struggle to find the right words. When we're trying to work out how we're feeling, especially when our emotions are so raw, that is when we can start to use our craft or our art in some capacity to help us heal. And this is my thing. I'm sort of referring back to my notes here because I did write down a few notes of things that I wanted, because I knew that this would seriously be me wandering off rather than just wandering. And I really wanted to explore this idea of processing emotions. We can find it hard to find the right words, but quite often we can use colour, for example, and the repetitive use of pattern to really help to process what we are personally going through. And this is why I would encourage the children and the young people that I work with, and I work with some very troubled youngsters, and I get them to just play with colour, splash things about, get quite angry if that's what they want, or to just kind of just close in, perhaps listen to music with headphones so they're shutting out the whole world. Just focus and then just draw and just see what happens. And again, it's about the process. It's not about what it looks like at the end. That is not the point. The point is the repetitive action and how that can really help. And that kind of comes back to something that I say quite a lot, actually, is about almost finding a ritual that happens all the time in your life. So this is what I do. Every Friday afternoon, I do this, for example. It's like you, maybe. Every Friday, you tune in to me for Friday art and you spend some time doing your own art. But it's having those sort of almost ritualistic practices can be hugely beneficial when we are feeling discombobulated, when we're all over the place and we can't quite manage day-to-day life even. That can be very, very struggling and very difficult. And again, I'm just kind of looking, forgive me for looking at my notes again. I wanted to express this idea of imperfection. I say this a lot in my art work and in my teaching. When something doesn't go right, we can celebrate that. We can celebrate those mistakes. We can just have a laugh about it. We can move on, because that's not the point. The point of perfection is not the point at all. We accept beauty with all of the imperfections. That is very, very important. And if we can use that as a metaphor for life as well, nobody's life is perfect. There's always going to be things that go wrong. There's always going to be things that happen that are completely out of our control. And when things are out of our control, that can be very, very difficult and very stressful. So we then go back to the things we can manage. And for me, that's my art journals, my sketchbooks. It might be me going for a walk with my camera, taking photographs of wildlife, going down to the sea. And it could be my dance or my singing, something like that, where I have an element of control, and I can just bring myself back down again. And that is the self-compassion, isn't it? I'm giving that to myself, and you could give that to yourself. If you are finding some things quite difficult, think about the things that you can control and you do those, and that can just help. I am giving a little bit of a trigger warning. I'll do a trigger warning at the beginning as well, that I just emphasize that if you are finding life very overwhelming, then please reach out to professional help. It's very, very important. I have done this in the past, and I will do it again in the future. So take care of yourself, please. Please look after yourself. I think it's important that we can reflect on what we've done in a positive way. So you could be doodling in your journal, you could be drawing things, you could be playing a musical instrument, whatever. But then to be able to then reflect on what you've done and think, yeah, that was all right. There was a few things there that were quite good. And just sort of celebrate the fact that you've done it. It's like my yoga teacher says, you've arrived on the mat. That's it. You're on the mat. You're in the space. And I would say that, I would say that was really important as well in art practice. You've got your journal open. You've got your paints. You've got your brush. Whatever you're doing. Again, for me, I've got my crochet. I'm working on my blanket. That repetitiveness. that can really help, can really, really help. So that is my very brief Wednesday wandering for this week. And again, I would encourage anybody who is struggling to reach out. I will put some links below. And just to know that you're loved, and I know that I am, and I know that my family is here, and things will be okay if they're not quite okay at the moment. So let me know in the comments what you think, and whether you found that participating in art or craft in whatever capacity, whether that has helped you, to overcome feelings of disappointment and sadness, and share some ideas with others, because I think as a community we are strong. We are really, really strong. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.